All right, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd with my co-host Deborah. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2009, 9:36 p.m. Tonight we're going to be discussing four cases, three cases from earlier this year, and then one I did last night. The cases are in order. Case number 690, Pebbles Jace; 691, Samuel Boehlke; 692, Anthony Lombardi. It's not Anthony Lombardi. We're actually looking for his murderer. And then the case I did last night, which is case number 773, Gabriela Velazquez. Um, and we will also be discussing Tracy Ocasio. Actually, we might wait till the next show, which will actually go on right after this, with Gail St. John, because she is going down there this Thursday to look for her. Jennifer Kessie and Deborah, what were you saying earlier?
She's going to be looking into the case of another missing person also, and his name is Christopher George,
Okay.
and he's been missing since February, and that is connected to James Hadaway,
Okay.
who is the person that was last seen with Tracy.
Okay.
He was the last one to see this friend of his before the friend went missing. So they're trying to determine what, if anything, could be going on there, and the man is still missing.
Okay. Now I did do work last night, as far as dreams goes, on Tracy's case. That is posted in the case file. There are two dream drawings, and I can say without a doubt I think this is definitely related to Jennifer Kessie. I did get a location, and I do have a map. I've given Gail that map. She's going to search that area. Plus, she has a couple areas that she thinks uh, might prove to find something. So that information is posted, and what I'm talking about is up there. And that Tracy's case is 764. And if you have any additional information, once again, please go to Missing Person Forum and post that. It's the fastest way to get that information out. Okay, Deborah, let's get started. You are going on vacation, at least you think you are, in a couple days, right? Actually, you're leaving tomorrow, aren't you?
Actually, in the morning, early
Okay.
in the morning.
So what
Morning.
we decided to do, this is our 99th show, and I wanted to do the 100th show with Deborah. So what we decided to do is we're going to do two shows tonight. So we have three other missing person cases on, and we'll have Gail St. John on too, on the next show right after this one. So as soon as we do these cases, we'll go right to the next show, which will be a different recording. Um, so if you're watching this and you want updates on Tracy Ocasio, Jennifer Kessie, you go to the next show, which should be show number 100. Hopefully we've recorded it by then. Okay, so Deborah, where are you going again?
I'm actually going to the Chicago area.
Okay, so you're going to go have some fun.
Yep, gonna go relax. My
Okay.
husband has a business trip, and I'm tagging along.
Okay. Well, enjoy and drive safe.
Thank you.
And we'll see you when you get back. So really, what's going to happen is I will be on tomorrow night. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do, but we're not going to cover missing person cases. At least I don't think so. We'll come up with something, and then again we'll be back on with Deborah on Sunday, right, Deborah?
Right.
Okay. All right, so let's get started. Our first case of the night is case number 773, and this is one I did last night. And this is Gabriela Velazquez. I'm sorry. The case was opened June 23rd, 2009. Dream drawings were done last night. Deborah, what information do we have for Gabriela? And her picture's up there right now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Gabriela Patricia Velazquez has been missing since the 20th of this month. Her date of birth, January 23rd, 1995. She's 14 years old. She's missing from Southern Pines, North Carolina. Hispanic female, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 120 pounds. Black hair and brown eyes. This is considered a non-family abduction. She has been allegedly abducted by a 20-year-old. His name is Cyril Alonso Salinas. And the place that he allegedly abducted her from was the National Guard Armory at 510 West Morganton Road in Southern Pines. So, yeah, I will never understand this, where, there's a child and an adult like that. I have a real hard time with the 14 and 20 thing going on. But anyway, this case here there was an alert issued, and this case was requested by SAS from chat.
Okay. So this is an active Amber Alert case, right?
There was an alert issued on her to begin with.
Yes.
I don't think that they have an active Amber Alert going on her now.
Okay, so it means the Amber Alert's been called off.
See, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's not on the ticker.
Okay. Well, I mean, on the code Amber ticker, because that's really not the Amber Alert system. It's not. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. But I was just wondering.
Well, there's a few different Amber Alerts.
Well, there's only one Amber Alert, which is through the government, and that's amberalert.gov.
There's a few that actually report them.
Right.
She is featured as an Amber Alert on the amberalert.com.
Okay, that's not but the Amber
I know
Alert.
that's not the government one, but
right. Well, there's only one Amber Alert, and really that's the only one that really matters, because that one is the one that's connected to all the police agencies, and everything else is just linked into that. Like there's amberalert.org with the ticker and stuff like that, and that just feeds off the Amber Alert system. Either way, I was just curious.
I wish the system worked better, that there wasn't
Yeah.
so many requirements to be met,
Right.
and so many times where
Definitely.
we wonder why an alert was not issued.
Well, because it's the government. There's that .gov in there that kind of screws things up. I think if it was a .com, it might be a little more efficient. It's just when they make rules and stuff, people they have to abide exactly by the rules, and by what fits endangerment, what fits do you have a vehicle, do we have a suspect, do we have blah 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 blah, and all that has to be met before they issue an Amber Alert, and that's like I said, it should be up to the local sheriff's department or whatever detective in charge of the case to issue that alert. But apparently you got to do a lot of stuff. Okay, anyways, the dream drawings from last night, there's two of them. The first one is a drawing of a house, and it says Hope Mills, and that's all it says. The second one says 3.7 miles, semi-trailer, and this to me looks like the back of a semi-truck trailer. Maybe it's detached from the rig itself. I don't know. That's what I have. I don't have any symbols of death or anything like that, nor do I feel that she's in danger. Just by looking at that. So that's all I have, Deborah. Hopefully she'll be found soon. That's all I know.
Okay.
Okay. We gonna move on?
Sure.
Okay. Our next case is case number 690. This is for Pebbles Jace. The case was opened March 6, 2009. We do believe this case is related to several others, probably minus the Sandra Cantu case. So, Deborah, what information do we have for Pebbles?
Actually, I just lost what I had for Pebbles.
Oh.
I should have it back real quick, but
Okay.
Pebbles is missing.
You do stuff pretty good out of memory, but
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
thing is that her case, we brought her name up in recent broadcasts here, discussing Amber Dubois and also Marlene Terrellis, because it looks like those cases are possibly connected, and I know you linked them on the site.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not getting that part back. Would you like to share what you have first? Thank you.
Well, that was quick, Deborah. Good job. First of all, I think this case is related to several other ones, and that could be Marlene Terrellis and Amber Land DeBose. And I do believe that these are human trafficking cases, and I believe that they may be in Tijuana right now, at this moment in time, which would be right across the United States border. But for Pebbles' case, the dream drawings that were done on really March 5th, 2009, are the first one says a 25-year-old man, Mesa, Arizona, sunflower. Maybe there's some sunflower seeds out there, or sunflower plants. I'm not sure, but there are some homes up there in the drawing of those homes. 25-year-old man might be the suspect. Next one says number 13 bullet, the initials WI, safe 4250, blue, S. Not exactly sure what that says, so I put a question mark. S could be S1, Park Station, and the number 3. Next thing is, I believe Pebbles is safe with a 25-year-old man with initials WI. This was back in March when I did that, and I did find in Mesa, Arizona. Do we know how far Mesa is from the border?
I'm not sure on that.
Okay. Then we did a show March 9th, show 31. We did show 45. And then, per your request, I did a redo on this case on April 2nd. And that says, they have him, children no longer be taken. Didn't we just do this case?
Well, that redo was to cover Amber and Marlene and Pebbles.
Okay. They have him, children will no longer be taken from FLA, the number 1622113, Valleja, BOS, Landing Strip, Mexico. So this is the redo actually for all these people. That's why, because I know we just did this last night. And then it says Cali, they were taken. I get to fix that. It says take. The warehouse and number 7, only Chinchilla, which we discussed that earlier too, which could either be that place or it could be a hotel. And then number 161963, 2 cases. She will escape. Deborah in folder. I think that was actually a note to you, Deborah, for some reason or another. And then the number 19. Then this is where we found that location. There is a town named that, sort of that, in Mexico. But what recently came to our attention was there's actually a bar or a hotel or something like that that's related to prostitution, which is in Tijuana, named that. So that's what I have for Pebbles. And we haven't done a redo since then, since April 2nd.
Okay, well, I have it listed to do redo for Amber and for Marlene already.
Okay.
So Pebbles will go right in, with the other 2 girls.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. Our next case is case number 691. His picture's up right there. This is Samuel Boehlke. The case was open on March 6th of 2009. Deborah, what information do we have for Samuel?
Well, I was all set with information for Pebbles.
Oh, did you want to read that again?
I didn't read it the first time.
Oh, okay.
Because I lost it, remember?
Oh, so you want me to go back? Okay, hold on. Not a problem.
I'll just give her stats real quick and then give Samuel's.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. I'm just getting the picture back up.
Okay, Pebbles Jace. She's listed as an endangered runaway. She's 14 years old. Hispanic female. Missing since December 17th of 2008. So this past December. Her date of birth is June 10th, 1994. So actually, she just turned 15. 5 feet 7 inches tall, 120 pounds. She's missing from Cathedral City, California. She has black hair and brown eyes. They say that she may be in the company of an adult male and an adult female. And they say that she could still be in the local area or that they may travel to Tucson, Arizona. Now, I don't think Tucson is very far from Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
From when we were doing work on the Jenica Earstein case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have that map up in the case file.
Okay.
It's a Google Earth screenshot.
Okay, great. So then that's what I have for Pebbles, for those that are not aware of her case. And you can read more about it by visiting the forum, obviously, as you can with all the other cases. And whenever you're ready to go on to Samuel is fine, because I don't have any more for Pebbles.
Okay. Thanks, Deborah. Okay, this is Samuel Boehlke. I'm sorry, Boehlke. The case was opened March 6, 2009. Deborah, what you got?
Samuel has been missing since October 14th of 2006. His full name is Samuel. His middle name is Savage. And then his last name is Becker Boehlke. He's more commonly known as Samuel Boehlke, but he has mom and dad's, both of their last names there. He's missing from Crater Lake, Oregon. They list him as being lost or injured missing, which is a classification that we don't see very often. His date of birth is August 10th of 1998. He was 8 years old at the time that he went missing. That he would be 10 right now. He was 4 feet 8 inches tall and 85 pounds. He's a Caucasian male with light brown hair and brown eyes. He has a mole under his right ear and a mole on the left side of his throat. His nickname is Sammy. Last seen wearing long sleeve black and green striped shirt, cargo pants, red suede slip-on shoes, and a blue winter coat. Samuel does have Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. Because of the Asperger's syndrome, he has extreme reactions to bright lights and loud noises. The last time he was seen on October 14th, 2006, was about 4 in the afternoon, and that was at Crater Lake National Park. He was staying in a cabin there with his dad, and they were out hiking. And he went up ahead of his dad, and from the news reports I read, there was about a 50-foot difference. And then Samuel just disappeared, and his father couldn't catch up with him and could not find him. They searched that national park extensively. Once again, this is Crater Lake National Park, and they found nothing at all. At the time that Samuel went missing, the weather was very, very cold, wet, and snowy. He would not have survived very long without shelter. He did have experience camping at the time he went missing, but he didn't have any wilderness survival training. He did live in Portland, Oregon. He was vacationing with his dad at the time. He likes to hike, fish, and do pretty much anything outdoors. Favorite foods, root beer, mac and cheese, and corn dogs. Favorite toys would be Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Legos, and Tinker Toys. It lists here that they do not suspect any foul play. They feel that he could have gotten lost or hurt and then died in the park as a result of that, even though they were not able to locate a trace of him at all. His family did have a memorial service for him the month after he went missing, which I find that just a little odd. But they did. In November 2006, they had a memorial service for him. And that's what I have for Samuel.
Okay, thank you. I'm just checking. I did go to Missing Exploited, and his picture's still there. Usually something.
I'm looking at him on Charlie Project
they
right
knew
now.
that they knew his location. He couldn't have gone too far, and they haven't found him this time. That leads me to believe that something other than the elements or something like that got to him. Possibly he could be alive. In looking at this, I do think that he could be alive. I think he was abducted, and I think he was abducted by this man that I have drawn in the first stream drawing. And his name might be Henry. He could be 47 years old, and it says what was not trapping. And the number 1341172 makes me beginning to think that maybe this person posed as a trapper. Really, his intentions were to abduct somebody. The next one says white dog, Kane. He had dog with him. Samuel went to Homestead. And then the note said, I think the man drawn above took Samuel. He has a white dog with him. I'm not sure of the location or Samuel's safety. So looking at this, and there's actually a drawing of possibly where this place might be. It might be just a place in the woods right next to where he went missing. Not exactly sure, but I do think that he was taken.
Well, in the last place, like you said, they know where he went missing. His dad had a good visual.
Right. He couldn't have gone too far.
Exactly the last place he saw him, and he went up over the top on the trail of like a little hill, and that's when he lost sight of him.
Yeah.
And he could not find him. So,
this has been a long time now.
So they searched extensively and finding absolutely nothing. When it's cold, it says he was wearing a winter coat. He probably had on hat, gloves, boots, warm clothing, layers and plenty of it.
And we haven't found any of this.
Something. It would have been a glove or a hat or
well,
something.
to me, if I were the kid's father, I would be. This would be a sign of this would be a good sign that we haven't found anything. I mean, if you're gonna, say that the child is dead, have a funeral. I mean, why do that if you're not sure, especially when nothing's been found? I mean, as far as I see, looking in here, there's nothing's been found.
There's absolutely nothing to.
So that doesn't really indicate
show that he's deceased.
Yeah, that's weird.
Memorial service was very quick. It was the month after it happened, and yeah, I know we've talked about this before. We talked about it when we were discussing Samuel's case in the past, and with some other cases. I've got children, you've got children, and if it was my child that's missing, before I would ever believe that they're deceased or have the memorial service, someone would have to give me proof.
Mm-hmm.
I think the natural reaction is to believe that your child is still alive unless they give you proof.
Unless you know something else that we don't know.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know what else we can do in this case. We could look up that phone number again. I don't think or that number to see if it was a phone number, but I don't think it led anywhere. And then I don't think the connection Henry came up anywhere in the news, nor was a Henry associated with the child's father. I do see there's one news article here, and then we did a show number 31 on it. So, but the number is 134-1172, and the 134 doesn't even sound like a phone number. I don't know too many numbers that start with a 1. You know what I'm talking about? Is a 7-digit number.
Right. You need 7 digits, and that's what you think is the phone number, right?
If it is a phone number, I'm just trying to see what else we can do as far as researching. I mean, we can do a redo on this one.
Okay. As with most of the cases.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our final case of the night. This is case number 692, and this is for Anthony Lombardi's murderer. It's not for Anthony Lombardi. He is deceased. We're trying to find the person that did this. So this case was opened on March 6, 2009. Deborah, what information do we have so far?
There's really not a lot for Anthony Lombardi. He lived in Valencia, California, and on, I believe it was September 18th, 2008, so this past September, less than a year ago, he was brutally stabbed in his car. I believe that was in his driveway, actually, of his home. He was 55 years old at the time. I believe also that this was one of those Find Me Too cases.
Okay. That's it.
Yes, that's what I have.
Okay. Symbol at the top left-hand side is definitely, I wouldn't say definitely, but is the symbol usually associated with death. There's a number 379 below it. There's a drawing of a man. Looks like a man. It can actually be an Indian or Native American male, maybe 40, maybe shoulder length hair, and that's once again the number 397. And the next one says 117 Riverside, California, 2.5 blocks from Central Avenue, not gang related. And then I looked up that, I looked up that it is an address in Riverside, California. That map has been posted on the case file. So that's all I have. So possibly maybe some relation to that address and that person that I've drawn. And that's all I know. Anything else?
I'm not sure who said it or where it was. Obviously, it didn't come through in your dream drawings. So I'm not sure if it was discussions of what it could possibly have been, but I think some theory is possibly for some kind of money motive.
Okay, I didn't get anything like that.
That's coming to my mind for some reason. I heard it somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where.
Okay.
Do you remember anything about that?
No. Nope. Really, no, I don't.
I wish I could remember
I
more.
don't remember. No, I don't. Yeah, we can look into this case. Um, that's all I know.
That's very sad, sad case.
Hmm.
Someone should be safe in their own vehicle, in their own driveway.
I agree.
It's just, it's so tragic. And his family really needs closure. They laid him to rest the week after it happened. And law enforcement does not have a lot to work with here. Actually, pretty much nothing.
Well, we can try to do something else on this one.
Okay, great.
And
Thank
again,
you.
if you're psychic, if you're able to help, please, 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 we need your help. Please send it. You can be anonymous. Whatever. Put the information in the forums. Uh, in any way you can get it public. That's what we're concerned about. Because people do sometimes follow up on this stuff. Not too often, but sometimes they do. That said, we're done with our show tonight. This is a picture of Aji Desir. He went missing January 10th of 2009 from Immokalee, Florida. He's 6 years old. He's developmentally challenged. They say he has a mental ability of a 2-year-old. He went missing in the daytime, playing with some friends. So no one knows where Aji's at, and no one spotted Aji. The main reason why no one spotted Aji, there hasn't been even really false sightings, usually with a lot of other cases. And the only reason because of that, the reason why there hasn't been any false sightings is because not too many people are paying attention to this case. Probably because of his skin color. I've seen this in a lot of cases now. If you're not white and you don't meet certain criteria, you don't really get the exposure. I mean, there's been hundreds of sightings of Kaylee Anthony, Madeline McCann, Jennifer Kesse, Natalie Holloway. The list goes on and on. They've got one thing in common. Let's try to change that, and that's really what we're trying to change. Deborah?
Well, while you're discussing that, remember those horrible case comparisons when you compared Haley Cummings to Aji as far as the type of attention they were getting. And Haley Cummings went missing on February 10th of this year, a full month after Aji did. And she would have several hundred.
I don't.
It's on search, and Aji would have, if he was lucky, he'd have 2 or 3.
Basically, he's had nothing other than the work that we've done and the work that Gail's done and the work that local news media. They've done a great job. Other than that, nothing. So that's what we're trying to do. Please go to findaji.com, see how you can help. Mainly, getting the picture out there. That's it, right, Deborah? We done?
One more thing.
Okay.
I'd like to say thank you to Black and Missing blog, and that's located blackandmissing.blogspot.com. They have a wonderful, wonderful blog there. Bring awareness to missing persons. The really sad thing is we don't have the need to have a white and missing blog.
Well, that's true. I was thinking about one thing that I was watching. Late night there's infomercials, right? And they show you starving, kids from Africa. Okay, and they're black. Okay, and the guy's like, would you help? Would you give 50 cents a day to feed this child and stuff, right? Like that. And I was just wondering, I'm not sure how much donations they get, but I guarantee a lot of people don't actually give any money, right? What if they showed just all white, same ages, but just white, blonde-haired girls, all out there starving to death? Just would the reaction be different as far as the callers calling in? I bet you it would. I'm just, that just kind of crossed my mind. I bet you it'd be completely a different story. They're like, how can we let this happen over there? We need to go over there right now and save them. And that kind of makes you think, But just think about it for a second. What if we were showing? What's the difference? There is none. Okay, we will see you tomorrow night. Actually, no, we won't. We'll see you in a few minutes. We're going to do our 100th show here, so Deborah can take her vacation. Thanks, Deborah.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.